Efficient learning. So first I need to talk about the levels of processing. We have shallow processing and deep processing. The theory involves the depth of processing, where deep processing means a better understanding, a deeper understanding. It pays more attention to meaning, connecting it to something else, um, whereas shallow processing is more about repetition, um, and maintenance rehearsal. So we'll jump right into elaborative rehearsal. This is about making those connections, relating it to something else, and thinking about the meaning of what you're learning. Spacing effect. So this is an effect that says if you study in separate sessions, then it's better, it enhances your learning. So sleep actually improves consolidation, and consolidation is the process where our brains convert short-term memories into long-term ones. So this is really important for long-term learning. And the self-reference effect is a form of encoding. So it links what you're learning to yourself. If you're able to make that link, it's a lot easier to remember it later. There's also a generation effect. So if you are prompted to create the information rather than the information being read to you or you reading the information, then you're more likely to remember it. So a good example of this would be flashcards, and although maybe if you switch flashcards with your friend, you may not know what they wrote down. So you're going to have to generate an answer, especially if it's not just a definition, but a deeper concept that you have to create. And then there's the retrieval practice effect. So to study well, you need to practice retrieving the information, which causes a testing effect, which is a better performance after being tested the first time. So if you take a practice quiz, you're going to do better on the real quiz, just because you've been tested over the material and you're better prepared. So back to ways to study. We're going to get into different ways of doing that. There's organizing / chunking. So if you don't need to understand the meaning or store it in your long-term memory, this is a good tool. So it actually lengthens the time in your short-term memory. If you need to memorize a list or a series of digits, chunking can help you do this. Categorical organization is another example. So if you have a list of things and you put it in a category, it can help you memorize it. So phone numbers are a good example of chunking. And of course, I had to put this meme of 8675309. It's a song from the 80s. So what about retrieving the information that you learned? Encoding specificity. So if you create the same external conditions from when you were studying to when you have to retrieve the information, you have better chance of remembering it. So, for example, if you chew the same gum, the same flavor of gum, if you chew peppermint gum when you're studying and when you're retrieving the information, you're more likely to remember it. And that's why I have Miss Violet here chewing her gum. So just recreate the same conditions and it'll help you remember the information. There's also retrieval queues. So these are just anchor points within your information to access a larger amount of information, kind of like a keyword and a definition, or something of that sense. So here are some things not to do to learn information deeper. So all of these are examples of shallow processing. Not taking active notes. Computer note-taking is shallow processing. You're typing faster and you're keeping up with your professor, possibly word for word. But paper and pen involves more encoding because you summarize your information. You actually take it in and you write down a summary of what you heard. So rereading is another example of shallow processing, and highlighting as well. This doesn't actually encode the information into your brain. And that's it. Thank you.